Today, Aerodrome finance again. Trying to keep up with the daily update videos when it comes to Aerodrome. Some days there's just not enough newsworthy things to talk about. But more specifically, like videos like this, more so just kind of want to just give my opinion on all things Aerodrome, kind of what's going on, where I see the project headed, and things like that. We're talking about Aerodrome and, year chart, month chart, right? A lot different. That's why it's always important to zoom out on the chart, right? It was not that long ago, you guys. April 11th, Aerodrome was trading well above $2, okay? It was not that long ago. $1.10 currently. Obviously, some extreme profit selling, in my opinion, price consolidation, market, etc., supply increasing, things like that, right? All these things essentially are, I don't want to say barriers, but they're bumps in the road, right? And there was bumps in the road, when it comes to any crypto project, right? Any single crypto project is going to have reasons for the price to go down or a reason for the price to go up. Bumps in the road, pillars, blocks, whatever you want to call them. Every crypto project has them. But when you talk about Aerodrome and you talk about altcoin season, right? And Aerodrome, to me, the epitome of an altcoin, right? Use case utility is there. It's obvious. It's evident. And it's not going anywhere, right? Those are just the three things kind of when you look at altcoins and altcoins that could potentially fly in the bull run, right? Aerodrome checks all the boxes, in my opinion, right? The holder count for Aerodrome is very, very encouraging. 76,157 holders. It was not that long ago, again, all relative, was not that long ago, Aerodrome had, I don't know, like 25,000 holders, 26,000 holders. Really, honestly, truly was not that long ago when that was the case, okay? And now here we are, Aerodrome, 76,000, I think probably by the end of June. Very, very possible that we do see 100,000 holders for Aerodrome. I think even at these levels, it's just accessible, right? It's easy for people to get positions here at these prices as opposed to $2. It's just such a different entry point, $1 to $2. And then even when you think about $2 to $3, just a vastly different entry point, right? As far as US dollar amount and the amount of Aero you can essentially get. Right, but aside from that, right, if you take away the price, if you just were going solely off news and things that get announced in regards to Aerodrome or that are attached to Aerodrome, there's just so many reasons to be bullish, in my opinion. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me that people look at Aerodrome, they see the things that are coming out, and they know the base attachment that Aerodrome does have and the attachment that base holds to Aerodrome, and they're not bullish. Right, we go straight to Aerodrome's Twitter, right? Slipstream APR comparison. When you deposit wrapped ETH USDC liquidity into Slipstream, you opt for the most user-friendly CL option on base. Also, the rewards are bar none in comparison, right? We've always talked about on the channel Uniswap and Aerodrome's kind of correlation between the two. Them two, obviously, I don't want to say they're rivals, but essentially doing the same thing, obviously on base versus Ethereum. And I think Aerodrome has the potential to reach those levels as far as, one, just the amount of users using Aerodrome versus the amount of users using Uniswap. I think just starting off, Aerodrome is at an advantage only because it has base backing it, right? Gives it obviously a huge advantage in that regard. So this is obviously super bullish. It doesn't surprise me that we're seeing the Slipstream APR comparisons, right? I think it's going to continue to kind of be obvious as far as when we talk about like the differences between the two and, comparing the two apples to apples, right? Aerodrome versus Uniswap. But coming up here as well, Epoch update, Aerodrome has now surpassed 500 million in volume. In the most recent Epoch, Slipstream contributed to greater than 70% of the total with record-breaking fees. They also received $3.934 million in total rewards, right? So things like this, these pillars, these catalysts, these positive news, if you weren't just looking, so closely on the price, which, again, sometimes you don't always need to look at the price when you're talking about outlook for coins. Like, obviously, you have to zoom out on the chart and things like that and see where, the coin was, if there's been change in supply. But if you were just going off news alone, like, there'd be no reason to be not bullish, and not have a positive outlook on Aerodrome, right? So I just think it's important to keep that perspective. It's important to understand that Aerodrome has, to me, at least in my opinion, again, not financial advice, always been just like a long-term play. Crypto, it's never been something that I was planning on selling. You know, I honestly wouldn't be planning on selling Aerodrome anywhere under $5, in my opinion, at least. Again, that's not financial advice, but that's just how I'm feeling about it, right? I just think there is too much potential here when the altcoin season does happen, right? Aerodrome will partake and will benefit greatly from it. So again, drop a like on this video, guys. Hit the subscribe button, and as always, have a great day.